This is the dawn of a new era in British karting. Over 550 drivers in 12 classes competing for victory over 18 race weekends. This is the Motorsport UK British Kart Championships.
My name's Alex Goldschmidt, with the ever-implosive and explosive Junior TKM division set for battle for its second final of the season here at Rissington. It was right to speak to our current points leader, and that would happen to be the number 17 from Scotland, Jade Racing Team's Oliver Stewart, who is looking to extend the gap over Zach Oates by more than just 3 points at the end of this race weekend.
Zach's pushed me quite a lot. He's been fast last year including, but he's really fast this year, come on quite a bit, and he'll be a good race all the way through the season. Oliver Richardson, Jack Saunders, then there's Connor Kearney, they're all looking really quick and also looking to take the championship off me. Yeah, there's a lot of competition, so I've got to make sure I'm focused for this race and all the races for the season.
So the top 10 is Harry Yardley-Rose on pole, Zach Oates alongside on the front row with Oliver Stewart and Oliver Richardson, row 2. Harvey Roth and Dominic Kilmeister on row 3. Morgan Kidd, Lewis Harvey, Ben Watson and Jack Saunders. That's your top 10. Do we go third time's the charm for a race start in Junior TKM? Race director has the red lights on the starting gantry. The revs rise, the anticipation builds for final number 2, and we go lights out. 53 goes, that's Morgan Kidd, got a great hole shot there. Oh, we got one spinning off already. We've got multiple karts off. That's 3, 4, 5 karts involved. Yellow flags at turn 1. So drama's already, as we've got another spinner going into the exit of the loop and into top bend. So someone was 180 degrees the wrong way. Meanwhile, the rest of the field's trying to negotiate the dogleg for the very first time of asking who's going to be in the lead. I don't think it's Yardley-Rose. Is it Oliver Stewart? That could be the case. Zach Oates looks to be in 4th position. Yellow flags waving. Oliver Stewart leads from Harry Yardley-Rose in 3rd position. It is Harvey Roth up from 5th position. Zach Oates, Dominic Kilminster. One driver, I'm just keeping an eye on who's dropping down the order significantly in the minute, because we had 5 karts off of Paddock Bend. Spencer Lane might have been one of them, dropping all the way down from 14th to 27th place. As we've got one kart going very slowly, coming out of top bend onto the back straight. So is that driver not having any further part in this race, or are they going to pull it to one side? Yep, drivers wisely decided the kart's not going anywhere. I'm gonna do the safest thing and get off the racing line. Good call there. But Oliver Stewart leads, and he's got 2 other karts between himself and Zach Oates, down in 4th position at the minute, and is actually dropping back slightly to the tune of about a second off his title rival in terms of the championship tables so far. So Stewart came in with a 1-point lead. That looks to have been extended, but that depends on how much of a move on Zach Oates in the 45 from Precision Racing gets in the next 12 minutes and 55 seconds plus that lap, as Yardley-Rose sends it up the inside of Stewart, going through the second part of the elbow. Coming along with them is Harvey Roth. He really fancies his chances on a first race win of the season. So watch out, the 36 really putting on a performance here, and goes up the inside of the championship leader through the loop and takes it. What a move! Brilliant work by Harvey Roth. Oliver Stewart now really has to be on the fight back. He's dropped down. Is that Zach Oates up in front? That is! The championship leader now drops down into 4th position. Now on to lap number 4. So Oliver Stewart, by about half a lap here, went down from the lead, down into 4th position. As Harvey Cole, well, it looks like we've got a few casualties, some of which include Connor Kearney in the number 5, Benjamin Cox, Kean Bennett, Max Davies looks to be circulating, Lewis Mackey also looks to have come in. Yep, so we're down to 29 competitors here in the Junior TKM final. with Harry Yardley-Rose leading the way, with Harvey Roff in second. Zach Oates now up into third position, and this puts a completely new, well no, Zach Oates up into second place as Oliver Stewart goes up the inside of Harvey Roff, going through into the dogleg on lap number 5 here. But meanwhile, Harry Yardley-Rose, with the pace that he's setting, has just done a 16.77. Harvey Roff had a bit of a sloppy one, a very disastrous one in the first sector, 17.6, 3/10 off of the leader as Harvey Roff drops down into fourth. But the driver that is putting in the fastest laps is Zach Oates. The 45 really wants to get that one up on Oliver Stewart at the minute. And at the moment, Oliver Stewart would drop down by a point behind Zach Oates if it finished as it did right now, with 2:48 to Oates, 2:47 to Stewart, but then it would further bring Yardley-Rose into the mix if he keeps a hold of this victory, which he is doing. So we're coming up to a third of this race completed in terms of the time. 10 minutes 42 plus an additional lap to go. Harry Yardley-Rose leads, and with him, he's got two other guys that want to have the lead in the standings coming out of Rissington and heading to Fullbeck towards the tail end of June. And that would just happen to be Zach Oates and Oliver Stewart. So Yardley-Rose leads, and the gap between himself, Oates and Stewart is 3/10 on the last time. We've got another spinner going through the loop. Behind the top three, Harvey Roff leads I think it looks to be 4 to 5 carts there, ahead of Ben Watson, Morgan Kidd, Lewis Harvey and Dominic Kilminster, who's dropped from 6th to 8th position. Less than 10 minutes to go, plus an additional lap. And he is commanding at the front is Harry Yardley-Rose from TWM. Meanwhile, Lewis Harvey has jumped up into 4th position. Harvey Roff, in the meantime, what's happened to him? That was Harvey Roff, the spinner, that was at the loop. He's just dropped significantly down the order. And Harvey Roff has pulled into the pits. That's a real shame. Running in the top 5, and even was challenging for at least a podium position in this 4th round of the championship season thus far. 9 minutes 10 plus an additional lap. Harry Yardley-Rose still fending off Zach Oates as his life depended on it for the lead of this race. This will really change the championship dynamic quite considerably, because Yardley-Rose coming into this weekend was 7th on 111 points, and he's taken one final win so far. Could he make it 2 from 2 this weekend? We still have over 8 minutes and 40 seconds still to go here, as they're trying to get past a backmarker who's just pulled in to the pits. Could that be Max Davies? Not too sure. Can't really see from my commentary position. Less than 8.5 minutes to go. A great battle at the front. There's a great 3-cart squabble behind them, and one of them actually is Harvey Roff. No, that's not Harvey Roff. That is Morgan Kidd. Sorry, my apologies there. I saw a 3 and got confused, but there we go. That happens these days. 11 and 29 having a great battle. That's Spencer Lane and Harry Wainwright for 23rd and 24th position, as the number 33 of Max Davies comes across the line to complete his 4th lap in this race. Leader's currently on lap number 10 here, as Yardley-Rose is not leading. Zach Oates is, and behind is Oliver Stewart. But still all to play for. Still, Zach Oates, Oliver Stewart and Harry Yardley-Rose will have their different strategies in their heads, thinking about where they can overtake. Can they go through paddock? Can they go through the loop? Will it be down the back straight heading into the dogleg, or coming through into the elbow? Stewart sends it up the inside of Oates to take the lead. Yardley-Rose tries to think about going up the inside. Oates says, unfortunately, mate, no you don't. So Oates now in second behind Stewart. So the current championship leader, after final number 3 of the championship thus far, now leads, comes across the start-finish line. Trio separated by just over 2 tenths. It's getting ever so tight and compact at the front. as Yardy Rose is saying, well, guys, if you want to have a bit of a fight, I'm here as well. And he's going to go up the inside of Zach Oates into top bend, down the back straight. Zach Oates now has the toe on Harry Yardy Rose, heading down into the dogleg, but can't make the use of the opportunity behind them. Lewis Harvey and Morgan Kidd are interlocked together in terms of a great battle there. And that is over 4th and 5th. And there we go, Yardy Rose again pounces like a coiled tiger, waiting in the reeds, and goes for it and gets past the pair of them. So Oates now back down to 3rd, Stewart down to 2nd. Yardy Rose is definitely showing that he wants to be at the front of the action, in the thick of it. Great battle a little bit further down the order with Matt Marsh and Dominic Roberts battling over 18th position. So top 10 at the moment. Well, Jack Nicholson in the meantime, as I say that, has jumped up from 19th to 9th place. Yardy Rose leads the race with 5 minutes and 43 on the clock, plus an additional lap. Ahead of Oliver Stewart, ahead of Zach Oates. That's the top 3. The 2 behind, it's Lewis Harvey from Clarkson Motorsport and Morgan Kidd from Precision Racing. Closing in on them will be Dominic Kilminster, Will Howells and Ben Watson. That rounds out the top 8. Jack Nicholson is interlocked in a great battle between Jensen Davis and Zach Taylor, who have both made up 7 places in the duration of the race thus far. We're coming to the last third of it, plus an additional lap. Rounding out the top 15, it is Scott Smith, Charlie Webb and Ben Higgins. And it looks like Harvey Roth is trying to pull the car off of the circuit. Yellow flags just past the start-finish line, so it will be no overtaking. As Stewart mugs Yardy Rose going into the elbow. That's a great overtaking opportunity there, but they're going to have to not overtake going across the start-finish line. Oh, that's very dicey indeed. That was very, very close for the number 34 of Jensen Davis. Did he get the move done before getting past Zach Taylor, what was effectively 9th position thereof? Or was that just sort of as it happened that they went green again? And he thought, yep, now I've got the green light, I'm going to take the position. So at the moment, the top 3 still locked in this great battle at the front of the field. Oliver Stewart leads from Harry Yardy Rose, who's thinking, I'm not going to attack just yet, I'm going to keep him guessing, keep him thinking. It is a cat and a mouse game when the top 3 are so close together, or if you are in a one-on-one battle like we're having with Lewis Harvey and Morgan Kidd, who are going to battle over 4th and 5th in this race. And we've got the number 18 of Charlie Flynn battling Josh Raystrick for the last position in the top 15. The leaders will come up towards back marker traffic, as Joe Harrison is the latest of the casualties on this junior TKM field. So we now have 28 drivers, and that is completed as Yardy Rose gets past Stewart again, going through the elbow. That seems to be a real good overtaking opportunity for anyone that is in a slipstream battle, which the 3 at the front in junior TKM are having at the moment, as Stewart really had to close the door on Zach Oates there quite convincingly, going through the second part of the loop as they go through top bend, down the back straight, heading towards the dogleg. We're now on to lap number 17 here, with just 3 minutes plus an additional lap to go in this 4th round of the 2019 Junior TKM Championship here at Rissington. So Yardy Rose continues to lead. What will Stewart do now? I think he's hanging back and waiting for the chance to pounce. Could it be with around a lap or so to go? Not too sure. But Zach Oates still keeping in touching distance with the 2 in front. Lewis Harvey still keeping Morgan Kidd at bay. Harvey jumped up from 8th to 4th, and Morgan Kidd from 7th. So he started in front of Lewis Harvey. So Harvey's taken the initiative in the number 7 from Clarkson Motorsport. So it looks like one of the back markers they might come up against very shortly. Just keeping an eye as we've got just over 2 minutes to go. As here we go, Stewart sends it up the inside of Yardy Rose to retake the lead, going through the elbow. Great job by the number 17 from Jade Racing. Zach Oates is just biding his time. He is waiting for that opportunity. If Yardley Rose goes for it, he's going to go as well. Behind Lewis Harvey and Morgan Kidd still battling over 4th and 5th. It's Ben Watson leading the trio of himself, Will Howells and Dominic Kilminster. That's from 6th to 8th, with Zach Taylor and Jensen Davis rounding out the top 10. So it could be down to the flag as Yardley Rose now drops behind Zach Oates. Oates now knows he's got to make his move within the next 80 seconds or so on Oliver Stewart, because virtually speaking, Stewart wins this, he takes a 4-point advantage, one more than he had when they left PF International at the tail end of April. And Oates is sizing Stewart up quite convincingly as they go through top bend. The back marker in front, will that play any sort of plan or strategy into what Zach Oates is thinking right now? He knows he's got a chance, but he's got to watch out because Harry Yardley Rose is behind him and he's going round the outside. My goodness, it's side by side for second and third. Yardley Rose, that was brave if ever I thought it, but he had to hold back. Crikey. So number 19, Yardley Rose, is saying to Zach Oates and Oliver Stewart saying, guys, I'm here. Zach Oates goes for the lead and takes it. Yardley Rose tries to go around the outside of Oliver Stewart through the loop. Can't make it stick, but Zach Oates, with around 25 seconds on the clock, struck whilst the iron was hot and said, right, I can get him through paddock, I'll get him by the loop, and by crikey, he did it. Zach Oates, with around 25 seconds, takes the lead on what is effectively the penultimate lap of this race as they come through the bottom straight for the penultimate time. Now it's going to be a battle of what's going to happen between Yardley Rose and Stewart. Will Stewart do something on the final lap? It's one lap to go. 4th and 5th are now with them. This is really going to go hammer and tongs right up until the checkered flag. Stewart's in danger for losing the final step on the rostrum, but Zach Oates struck at Paddock Bend just a lap ago, and he's about to go through top bend for the final time. Yardley Rose still going with him, but what is going to happen to Oliver Stewart? This has really changed the dynamic of the championship after the second event this season. They're going to go through the dogleg. It is still Zach Oates leading from Harry Yardley Rose. Oliver Stewart in third. Lewis Harvey from Clarkson Motorsport is challenging the number 17. Will he do anything at the elbow? Yes, he will! What a move from the number 17! Oh, could he lose out? Stewart finishes 5th as Zach Oates takes the win by 0.09 of a second to the flag. Harry Yardley Rose has shown that he will be a force de rigueur to be reckoned with. But Zach Oates nips it at the flag by less than 1/10 of a second from Harry Yardley Rose. What a pounce from Lewis Harvey and Morgan Kidd on Oliver Stewart, who finishes 5th at the end of this race weekend. That is your top 5. So Zach Oates wins provisionally final number 2, and with it takes virtually the championship lead by 6 points. So he's turned that from a 3-point differential to a 9-point swing, giving him a 6-point advantage provisionally, obviously with post-race scrutineering and compliance. But Zach Oates, by less than 1/10 of a second, pips Harry Yardley Rose whilst punching one hand in the air ahead of Lewis Harvey from Clarkson Motorsport, up from 8th to 3rd. Morgan Kidd in 4th. Oliver Stewart started in 3rd, finished in 5th, having led at multiple points during this race. That's your top 5. Ben Watson, Will Howells, Dominic Kilminster, Zach Taylor and Jensen Davis round out the top 10. Jack Nicholson, Scott Smith, Ben Higgins, Charlie Webb and Josh Raystrick complete the top 15, with Charlie Flynn, Jack Saunders, James Barty, Spencer Lane, Dominic Roberts, Matt Marsh, Lorenzo Cordal, Harry Wainwright, Jacob Hodgkiss, Oliver Richardson, Harvey Cole, Dale Whittaker and Max Davies being the last of the 28 classified finishers, with Joe Harrison, Harvey Roth, Lewis Mackey, Cian Bennett, Benjamin Cox and Connor Kearney rounding out those that did not finish the race. But it's Zach Oates that leaves Rissington with a 6-point advantage after being at a 3-point deficit after PF International. We'll see Junior TKM back on the Motorsport UK British Kart Championships at Fullbeck. Zach Oates would win round 4 and with it take a 5-point advantage in the championship standings over Oliver Stewart, whilst Harry Yardley-Rose and Louis Harvey kept themselves clearly in contention with 2nd and 3rd respectively.
Yeah, it was good. Me and Morgan pushed away just from the pack behind to catch those 3. We managed to in the end, and I was there or thereabouts behind Oliver, and I just wanted to make the move, so I did. Managed to get 3rd.
We're absolutely elated with the result. We couldn't have gone any better apart from winning the final 2. We've been really quick all weekend, and we couldn't have done anything else better, to be honest.
Yeah, it was definitely a really good weekend. We were straight away out of the blocks quick in practice. Got into qualifying and had a little engine problem, but we still qualified P2. Kept taking P2 all weekend, then winning the heat. P2 in a close first final, then the second final. Us 3, me, Ollie and Harry pushed away again, and this time I managed to take the win, which I'm very happy with. I'd like to say a massive thank you to everyone at Precision Racing, my family and Paul Duke.